Welcome back. I am John P. Today, I am very excited to be sharing with you the new Tag Heuer Formula 1 Mario Kart collaboration watch. Yes, that's right, the Mario Kart collaboration watch. Now, if you're not familiar with the development of this watch, over a year ago, Tag Heuer was teasing that there would be a Mario, which is a very popular video game franchise from Nintendo. They were teasing that there'd be a Mario watch. Many people were very excited. They called all the Tag Heuer boutiques. They were very excited for the watch, and they ended up releasing the Connected, which is their smartwatch version of the watch, which really was not much more than a digital skin of the watch, so something you probably could have put on your Apple Watch or something like that with, a Mario emblem to the watch. So many watch collectors were unfortunately, rubbed in an interesting way, kind of a negative way, because they were expecting what we have today, actually, because Tag Heuer did listen to the collecting community, and they released two Tag Heuer watches under the Formula 1 line, kind of the sporting chronograph line. There is a tourbillon version of the watch, as well as your standard chronograph, but not just a standard chronograph. This is going to be a little bit more interesting, obviously, with the Mario collaboration. So I'm going to share with you that. We're going to do an unboxing, and we're going to look at this very cool watch that I actually purchased for myself. So in no way did Tag Heuer send this to me in follow-up to a video I did in the past or anything like that. I actually purchased this for myself. I grew up playing Mario, right? I mean, for all of you people out there that are going to question me, look, I have the original Nintendo, and I have the Mario inside of it, and not only the original Mario, I've got the Dr. Mario, right, for the COVID. I've got the Super Mario 3, honestly, phenomenal game. But also, digging up through all of my old games and things in the back of the closet, I realized I didn't return one of these to Blockbuster, so I don't know what I'm going to do about that, but nonetheless, I've actually been a Mario fan for a very long time. I haven't kept up with everything that's out there today, but as you can see, I go all the way back. So this is really a very exciting watch for me personally, to have both the Swiss watch, one of, obviously a passion of mine, having Delray watch where we buy, sell, and trade, as well as this channel, but also kind of that nostalgic point to it. So I'm very excited. We're going to flip around the camera. We're going to do a hands-on, and also I'm going to share with you my opinions, thoughts, and comments, which are obviously going to be very positive because of the Mario, but we're also going to look at it from as unbiased as possible perspective, talking about the technical aspects of this watch. So let's get into it. So here is the Tag Heuer Formula 1 box with the Mario collaboration. You can see I actually have not opened this up yet. I just pulled this out of the FedEx package. So we're going to go ahead and open this together. Pretty excited to see what we have. It's pretty cool. Yeah, this is actually a very large box. It's over a foot in width, I'd say. Pretty nice quality, and it of course has this very interesting kind of Mario Kart embellishment on the top. That's pretty cool. I think it adds a lot of interesting character to the box. Now let's go ahead and open it up and see what we have here. Very much in line with your Mario Kart theme, the black and the red. We'll go ahead and open this. It's some kind of literature. What do we have in here? We have your paperwork, some thank you letters, a little bit of a manual telling us how cool the watch is, and if we're ready to do whatever they want us to. Very cool thank you letter, all that stuff that pretty much the brands are giving you these days, especially Tag Heuer. Now let's get on to what we really came here for. Let's pop this open. Yep, we have also one of these little travel pouches. All the brands are really giving you these. It's good because when you send the watch in for service, you kind of pop it in there so the watch stays protected. This one, does have a Mario Kart embossment on it. Very cool. Let's get into the watch. I really put it in here, huh? This is my personal watch, guys, so it's okay if we rough it up a little bit. We'll keep it nice and safe. Oh, here we go. Mario Kart. Let's get to what we really want to see here. They like to put Mario Kart on everything. Now this is just cool. I think what we're going to do here actually is we're going to swap out the lens. We're going to get the macro lens on this thing. We're going to take a closer look. This has some details on it that we are definitely going to want to take under a closer look here. So let's swap out the lens, jump in here, get a closer look of the actual watch. So here we are with the Tag Heuer Mario Kart F1 collaboration watch. As you can see here, it's got a lot of presence. You know, it matches basically all of the other Nintendo kind of stuff that we have here with the colorways. I think they did a really great job in first impressions to kind of match, you know, the brand aesthetic. Very cool watch. It's got a lot of heft to it, actually. I mean, this is going to be a pretty large watch, clocking in at 44 millimeters in size. And of course, it is featuring a chronograph movement, so it's going to have some weight to it, but it's on the leather strap, so that should lighten it a little bit compared to the versions of the Formula One watch that do come on the bracelet. Now, looking at the 9 o'clock, you can see on this watch, it does feature the Mario Kart there for the running seconds. I think that's pretty cool. And it does have the carbon fiber on the dial, which is going to be, you know, kind of the racing theme from Tag Heuer. It makes a lot of sense, right? The carbon fiber is typically on these racing watches. But additionally, we are looking at a watch that has a ceramic bezel, and this is going to be something that Tag Heuer puts stock on their higher-end Formula One watches. It does feature, kind of feature that Mario Kart font, which of course makes a lot of sense given it is a Mario watch. It has a lot of heft to it. Once again, it does feature a 7750 variant, which Tag Heuer calls the Caliber 16, which is going to be an ETA 7750, slightly modified to be a little bit higher end, but you know, of course, this is a pretty stock movement overall, but more than sufficient given the nature of the watch. Now, what I think is just so cool about this is you have this Koopa shell embossed pattern on here. Like, obviously, this is not a real Koopa shell, you know, included in the strap because it's not a real thing. But for those of you not familiar, the Koopa shell is kind of like this, basically like a turtle shell in the game. You can kind of shoot at other characters. And so I think that adds a lot of nice brand consistency for this collaboration. Now, what's interesting about this watch additionally is that you'll see that on the side of the watch, it does feature that Mario M right there on the crown. So fitting with the theme of the watch, and you have a Mario Kart emblem on the back of the watch. Now, this watch is actually very large. At 44 millimeters, it is probably unwearable for me, unfortunately. I have a little under 6.5 inch wrist, and if I put this on my wrist, I'll go ahead and I will take my watch off and put this on my wrist. You'll see that it kind of wears like a smaller Panerai in a way, which unfortunately for me probably won't work, but I do really like the watch, so it's a little disappointing to see that. But you can see that this watch is substantial in terms of wrist presence. 44 millimeters, it would take, in my opinion, a 7-inch plus wrist to wear this watch appropriately, but you could wear it if you want, if you just like bigger watches. Now, this watch does also feature 200 meters of water resistance, so for chronograph, I think that is actually pretty phenomenal, and that's something that I really do applaud Tag Heuer at improving over time. It's like, why do you need to have that kind of water resistance in a chronograph? Well, you really don't, but I guess in Mario Kart, you know, there's some water and stuff, so hey, why not put it in there? Additionally, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more, and we're gonna look at the date wheel because it's not a normal date wheel. They go so far as to include some symbols and iconography from the game franchise, which I think makes the watch kind of more unique and special. So let's jump in, we'll flip through it and kind of look at what they have here for us. Very cool. We got the bullet. We have a bunch of numbers. Don't care about those. Oh, we got a shell. You know, they shoot these shells in the game at each other while they're driving these carts. It's actually a lot of fun. We got one of the mushrooms, some more numbers. Oh, banana peel, classic. Love it. Shell. Awesome. That is just so cool. And here we can kind of see a closer up look at the dial with that carbon fiber pattern, and they call these sub-registers to be a bit of an asphalt pattern on them as well. At least that's what Tag Heuer is saying. I think it looks pretty stock, black in color, but you know, I can't really knock them for trying to incorporate as many, you know, descriptors of the watch to make it as Mario Kart as possible. And I really like that Mario Kart on this ceramic bezel. I think it's just so cool. I mean, just look at this. I mean, is there anyone out there that just absolutely thinks they knocked it out of the park on this watch? So what do we think about this very cool Tag Heuer Mario Kart Formula 1 watch collaboration with Nintendo? Obviously, you can tell that I'm very excited about the collaboration with the Mario. It's very cool, it's nostalgic, it's really a pop icon in my opinion, an international pop icon that really transcends borders between countries. Nintendo is a global franchise and I think it's so cool, right? I also have in my personal collection the Gerald Genta collaboration that was done with Disney with the original Mickey Mouse on the dial, which I think is very cool, and that's just something interesting, and I love to see that in watches. Now, aside from this particular watch, which we just covered, there's also a tourbillon version of the watch, which comes at a much steeper price point, just over $25,000 US. But, of course, it's a tourbillon, so it's pretty appropriately priced, in my opinion, and it has much more of the Mario theme on the watch, including on top of that tourbillon cage. There'll be a picture here. I think that's also a pretty cool choice, but really you'd have to be in the market for a Tag Heuer tourbillon, I personally think, and also be a diehard Nintendo fan to want it. Maybe they'll sell for more than the retail price in the aftermarket. We'll see as time goes on. These watches just came out. As you can tell, I just received the watch today. But overall, I think this is a very cool watch, or really duo of watches for someone that likes that Mario franchise, wants something interesting, unique. Maybe it'll be worth more in the future. Who knows? But if you like watches and you like Mario, I don't see how you can really lose here, just so long as you're willing to pay a slight premium over the retail price for this watch compared to, basically the exact same watch without the Mario content offered by Tag Heuer today. Let me know, what do you all think about this very cool watch? I'd love to see it and hear it in the comments below. Guys, please do not forget to thumbs up, like, and subscribe. I do appreciate it. Also, thanks for bearing with me here. Just pulled down a bit of a cold, so at times it could have been coughing and things like that, but I appreciate you coming back for another episode. And you have been chatting with John P. We'll see you next time.